Good morning. Oh, just let everybody trickle in. Get everybody started in a moment here. It looks like we'll start trickling in. Let me start by sending this link out to people so we have enough people here lined up to come in here. People started relying on these links. Go to my videos. Let's open this up. And go to here we go. All right. And put this in here. Okay. Up and running. Got everything lined up. Good morning. Let's just jump right into it. I'm getting there, Brandon. I am getting there. I'm a little pumped for today. Today just seems like one of those days where they're going to bring us down and then run us up, but we'll see. There's a lot brewing already this morning. A lot moving. I'm kind of excited about the day. Hey, buddy. Good morning. Hey, from Oklahoma. What's going on, Arat? Welcome. All right. So let's just get into the questions. Do you think XLU and XLP are just having a pullback? No, I think it's a rotation. That's a really good question. I think it's a rotation, and I think people should be paying attention to it. So, there's a couple things to deal with, okay? And let's just see what some facts. I really don't care where people stand politically. I could care less. I'm more concerned about how I can benefit and make money in the stock market, right? So, and I'm saying this for a reason. What you're seeing happen, and this is just a fact, and you have to deal with just facts. If you have a drug that's FDA approved, when that's FDA approved, more people are going to be comfortable. More companies are going to probably issue mandates. More people are going to alleviate restrictions. Why? Because you're able to fix the problem in a legitimate way, okay? Or at least mitigate the problem. Let's leave it at that. What does that do? Well, that means that parts of the economy are going to open up. Why are we seeing this? And I'm just going to walk you through this. Okay, since in the past 5 days since this started coming out, right? Yesterday was what? Tuesday, right? Monday. Looks like it might have leaked actually on Friday. Okay, you've seen a 5.86% move in the IWM since this FDA approval. People are buying, as we saw, right? The casinos, the airlines, the hotels. Okay, that's all changing. What's that mean? If you're buying small cap names, it means risk on. Say it again. If you're buying small cap names, it means risk on. When risk is on, okay, you sell the utilities, okay? You sell them. And what we're seeing here is, since we're all linked together through social media and everybody's getting everything so fast, is you're seeing exacerbated moves, right? And a lot of people are trading. Like this is Neen, one we did in the community, right? Now, I'm going to point this out for a reason. Okay, utility stocks do not move $3 or 5% in a day. It does not happen. And that's exactly what's happening. So the move to the downside could be just as dramatic. Stuff like, consumer staples, no, I think they're done. I think this move's over. So to answer your question, the long-winded answer to that question, and it's important, and that's why I'm spending a lot of time on it, is I think that's over. And I think that you're going to continue to see stocks like this or sectors like this, like technology, you're going to start seeing money again. Look where we started. Look at the best performing sector, energy. Why? Because you're going to need more energy. You're going to need more oil because things are going to open up. So just keep that in mind. That's the long pitch on to your question. But it's an excellent question, Jacob. It really is. So good morning, Inquisitive Tiger. Morning, Nicholas. So CPE and ZI, let's do it. So ZI, I really like, and people are asking why it's not in the post-market letters or the post-market video. Excuse me, need another cup of coffee here. I get asked about 200, 300 names a day. And between the community, Reddit, email, I try to cover what is most relevant to everybody. That's why it's not in there. So I don't know why this is here. And this certainly should be down further. So let's just put this here for a moment. So this is what I really just want to point out to you. Okay. I really like how you came out, you issued a secondary, it got eaten up. You came out, you ran again, ate another secondary, and now you're above that. I like it. I'm just waiting for it to flip 63. This flip 63, it's going to have my attention, because then you're going to be forming what we could refer to as a crown pattern, right? And I'm going to do another video on this pattern. But when you have a crown pattern like this, you're really forming a cup. Then this is what happens with stocks like this. And I'm in a teaching mood today, so I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time just doing stuff, right? So this is what happens with a crown pattern. You go to here, you might come back, form that handle, and then you come up here and you do this. Okay, that's usually how these patterns play out, right? First mouse gets what? The trap. You get stopped out, but you form the handle. Second mouse gets what? The cheese, right? So I like ZI a lot. As far as CPE, I do think that you could have a trade here. I think you could have a very large trade here, and I am watching it. I've been watching all the names. I've been watching Oxy, looking for a trade yesterday out of it. I didn't get the move I really wanted. MRO, I didn't really get the move that I wanted. But to me, yeah, I'm watching this. I'll tell you what I'm waiting for, so that you can kind of get an understanding of what I'm really looking for out of these energies. I'm really waiting to see this get above the 50-day. That would confirm to me that people don't think this is just a trade, but a sustainable move. You can see how you broke the 50-day on the IWM. And by getting above that means that, yes, this is going to be open economy, risk on, which would mean that we're going to need more power, i.e. CPE should break out and keep going. You are seeing signs of this. You are seeing the 8 start to pick up. You are seeing the 200 start to get where it needs to go. And you are seeing the 21. So it's a long-winded answer, but it's important. Hey, Voss. Good morning. Morning, Larry. Hey, how's Phoenix treating you? I was actually thinking of visiting out in Arizona. Morning, John. So let's just keep on going. I could be saying good morning all day here. PANW. So I like that. And, there was a trade there yesterday, obviously off the rip. We discussed a couple levels, couple trade levels. Look, this is I'm throwing pre and post in so you can see where it is. But look, this was a massive move. And I just want to explain how these moves now work. Okay. And let's look at this one. And this is a great way to trade this. Okay. It's a very simple way to trade this. You can mitigate your risk. That's your range. To me, I would not be a buyer of this until I got over this level. If I was fortunate enough to be in here, which I was not, that would be my stop. It's literally that simple. And what you're hoping for here is you're hoping that you base and then break out. And I'll give you an example of what we're hoping for here. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for here. Here's your base, right? This 10% range, 40 points roughly, even greater, broke out yesterday. The day before, I wanted follow through, and we got follow through. So that's what you're looking for out of PANW. Could it happen? Absolutely, it could happen. So that's what you're looking for. That's your level. Oh, that's cool. Welcome. I didn't know that's where you were from. Yeah, it's too late for Melly. You're in the middle of the trade, John. Melly was one that I've been following, and it's still stuck in the newsletter, the pre-market newsletter. I really should have moved it into the newsletter when we did this the other day, but I was so preoccupied with others. Yeah, you're in the middle here now. I mean, you have to get through 1900, right? And then if you get through that, okay, you can get to 2000. The only real way to play this with the risk that you have now, in my opinion, are options. And they're pretty thin, these options. So it's hard. But yeah, your move's over, in my opinion. Like you've had your opportunity to buy when you were down here, right? And then now you're here. So maybe you break 19 and you're looking for, 3% to get to 2000 to see if you can stay in it. And then you use this as your stop. You could do something like that, but clear 19 and then see if you want to get, if it gets up to here. If it doesn't and it rejects this level, then just blow it out. But you're really at 1-to-1 to try and get in a position, right? And the goal of getting in that position is to try and get in and stay in so that you can see if you can do this, right? See if you can break through this level and get up in here in 23, 24. I mean, that's really what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to catch the tiger's tail is what we call it. So, but it's a risk. It's definitely more risk than when we first entered it. Yeah, you're finally seeing Ford do what Ford should be doing. So, and I'm not surprised by that. It's typical, man plans, God laughs, right? So you think you're going to pull back to this 200-day, and what do? You don't pull back to the 200-day. You go, then you get over that 8-day, and then you get to the 21, and then you can get to the up here, and then you can get to your 50. I'm not a big buyer yet, but I'm getting there. It's definitely got my attention again. And, you have a level right here. Let me just point this out because I think this is important. Just watch that level, Shane. So 1333, watch that level. You can see how we closed there, got stuck there and reversed. You can see how we got stuck there for a little bit before breaking through. You can see how on that level, right, we opened and then we closed on it, right? So we could see how it was resistance or support here. We could see how it was resistance here. So just watch this level, 1333. But I do like that name here. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Joe. My watch list, I have a ton of shorts on, that I'm watching. I'm a really big, like short term, like high flyer. I'm watching this thing today, and I'm just the volume that was coming in this off the open, we'll have to see how it does, but just the volume that came in off this thing today was just insane this morning. And I'll just show you. So it definitely was on my radar. And I was just looking for this to get above this level to put a trade on, and it never really did it. I'm not sure that this is over yet, but, for me, this is definitely something that, short-term, quick trade kind of thing I'm definitely looking at today. And again, I don't think this is over. You don't trade like this and then just have it disappear. So we'll see what happens with it. Obviously, it's a thinly traded stock, and you should be trading it like you trade an option. I'm looking at that across the board. I really like semiconductors. If you're asking me, I think semiconductors are going to be where it's at. I'm looking for UPST. If I can get above that 220 level, that's definitely something that I'm looking at. So there's a couple names. And I'm, I don't think it's any big secret that I'm short this. And we'll see how we do. I shorted it yesterday, and I'll probably add to it today. And if I get over that high, I'll just close it. But I don't think that that's going to happen. Not with the comments that came out today. So we'll see. So that's really what I'm looking at. Morning. So let's do you and then NVAX. So you finally got back over that 122.80 line, right? You broke down and now you rallied back over it, but you're forming a little wedge here. And that's not really what you want to see. So before adding to it, I mean, it's good because you're setting up, right? But you're just not where you're supposed to be just yet. So let's see how that plays out. But I'm not convinced that this is, I'm not convinced it's over, but I'm not convinced that we're going higher just yet. We seem to be hitting this trend line right in here and then kind of rejecting it. But I'd like to flip this and then see if you can get through that 131 finally. They had great earnings. It was great report. And let's do NVAX. NVAX was on the list. And, I just want to point this out. There's a reason why I leave these in there, right? There's a reason why I leave these trend lines in and I don't clean them out. It's very quick. I can look at this in 2 seconds and tell you what's going on. We keep rejecting this key area, don't we? And what are they doing while we're rejecting it? Okay. They're walking us down while they're rejecting it. And the angle is starting to change and get worse. Well, that means to me that this has the potential to get really ugly, right? Every single rally up, is shorter, and every single rally is met by vicious selling. So that's not really what you want to see. And considering that one of these companies has just gotten FDA approved, and now Johnson & Johnson has come out and said they have one shot and they don't think that you need boosters, and they're going to get FDA approval, and they're going through it, obviously the long way. Look, this is everything that you want to see, for the companies that have gotten it. But for this is not good. Not in the long run. So see how this plays out and see if it breaks. But this is not something I would be chasing, to say the least. So APP. So APP, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much doing what you want it to do, right? I mean, there's only really one thing that you're looking for this to do. 74.5. Right here, you are 75. I mean, it's pretty clear what we want it to do, right? So this is constant buying, constant. Like here, you can see where you flipped, right? You flipped right here. You kind of had a Morningstar pattern here, not really, and then you have a long-legged doji, so it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. And I can't stress this enough. When you see this, right, this means we've made a decision. And I'm just going to hammer that point again. So when you see this, it means you've made a decision. So this is an indecision bar. When you break above it, we've made a decision. This is the way we're going. Doesn't mean it's going to work. It just means that you have a higher degree of probability of follow through, right? So understanding the significance of that bar could have gotten you in this sooner if you're not in already. Just FYI. But now the 8's crossing the 21, we're above the 50. It's really important, that point that I just made, for you to think about and start trading that maybe a little differently, that position. Here's another one, a great example. Here's like a doji, and it stops in the middle. You don't know what it's going to do. It takes out the low. It's made a decision. You know what it's going to do now, right? So understanding and look at these patterns makes all the difference in your trading. So when you are coming down here, you're testing that 50. Then you've tested that 50. Now you can't close above it. Now you open above the high. So to me, this is going to push. I mean, look at how my volume's accelerating. Where's my risk? Do I have earnings coming out? No, they've already come out. Look, higher high, trade your patterns, right? Higher high, trade your patterns. This looks like it's going to rip. I see no reason why this isn't getting to 86 at this point. This looks really good. So really good. So I would be playing with that. Good morning, Defy. Hey, you gross. Okay. Can you go over MDXG? Yes, I can. So that's pretty much the move you're looking for and you wanted to see yesterday. Whether that continues or not, I don't know, but that's exactly what you want to see. You've broken out of this. You've done it on a little bit of volume. Now we should see that push, and we should get to that 15s and 3/4 level. I like this. Look at this 1287. Look how you broke out on that volume. That's exactly what you want to see. Breaking out of bases like this and then flagging up is pretty much the strongest, most highly probable pattern that you can trade. So if you're having a problem trading, okay, start looking for huge bases, huge breakouts off those bases, and volume, right? And only trade that pattern till you get better at it, understand it. And all you're looking for the next day is confirmation you can add to it, right? It's simple trade. But usually what this leads to is very long upper channel trends that give you a lot of potential. So very simple pattern to trade. Looking at timestamps, somebody got. Yeah, I don't know. They all kind of move. Let's see if it lasts. So we're kind of bouncing around today. I'm not so sure yet. I'm not so sure how to play that yet. INMD. I mean, you're right to the channel. It's not something that I can. It's not something I can play with. So you're right into that channel. It's not something I'm gonna tear into. Flip the channel and maybe it can go. Like if you flip this line, maybe you can go parabolic here. SWCH. That's interesting to know. That's very interesting to know. I'm glad to know that it is helpful. I don't use it. I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest with you. In my own little world, frankly. So if I find something on my computer and it works, I pretty much stay with it. You know, I know that everyone's looking for innovation and I think it's great, but if I find something that works, that's it. I stay with it. I move on to the next thing until it doesn't work anymore. So 2409, look at that, right? That's exactly what you're looking for. What happens right here, switch, ink. I know, again, I'm not really sure what they do, but that move yesterday is exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so that's obviously an earnings move. That's an earnings bar. And this is the exact antithesis of what we were just talking about with team, right? And what we were just talking about, what we want to see with PANW. See how when you broke that level, that's it. Now you're into the gap. This could have gotten a lot worse and came here. But understanding pattern recognition and watching that candlestick video, we knew that this was a morning star and that would have given us an opportunity to buy and make $1 with very little risk and get us in and up in the trade. Now you're through this level. That's exactly where you want to be. Okay, this is your breakout bar back through the daily that's in control. This bar is in control. So now I have to go from here and get back up to this level. That's my goal. Right? What's your task? To get to 25.69. Where's my stop? If I break 23 3/4, 23.70, it's time to go. Time to get out of it. You should not run down and roll here. You should not have a down day. You should be exploding to the upside here. You should have big follow through. And when you don't see that big follow through, become concerned. Sometimes I jump ahead too much. I jumped ahead way there. I got a ton to go over. Okay, let's go there. Oh, God, here we go again with the Bills. Go Birds. Can you check out PayPal? Yep, let's look at PayPal. Do I have any other Eagles fans in this room? Any? So, actually, your Bills look awesome this year. They look really good this year. You should have a great season. And with New England falling apart. So, it should be really good. You should have, it's about time after 2 decades. So, 278. See how you're breaking above that level? That's been your key level that you had to watch. What did we do yesterday? We got above it. That's big. I'm going to show you something else in a moment, but let's just look at this. Okay. You see how you're getting above the 21? See how the 8's going to cross the 21? What's your magnet going to be? Your magnet, where are you going to go to? What's going to be your issue? 286. But this is very interesting down here because it's a nice spot to build. And you have confirmation levels that you can look at. So I could see why somebody would buy this here. I could see why somebody would buy this right here. Because look, let's just zoom in on this because this is really cool. So here's your downward trend line, right? See how you closed above it? See how you have this hammer where you came down and broke below our support and then closed at an all-time high on a hammer off this pattern. So this would allude me to believe that I have broken this line. Confirmation of breaking that line is right here. Okay. So that's your next goal. 282.37. You want to get up there and get over that. That's your next level. Getting into that, we start working our way through what? Let me just show you this. Pull this down a little bit here. And what does that get me through once I'm through this? Okay. Now I'm into this bar. Now you can go back up to here. But before you get up to that level, we're going to have to deal with this. Okay. So I like that trade here. I mean, I think it's worth the risk. I don't think you're going to fall back into this. And here, look, I mean, that's a pretty solid, we clone these because you always clone them so you have the same trajectory, right? If you clone this and just kind of pop that in there for a moment, you can kind of see where you're hitting here, broke out here, hit here, right? You can kind of see that pattern. I think this lasts. I think that goes. It's definitely one to look at for sure. You're welcome, John. PFE, you need to watch what's going on here. We're definitely having sell the news, aren't we? So, and even yesterday with the BNTX, I closed that. When we did that day trade yesterday, I just closed it. And the reason was I don't like the action. We're not trading the way that we're supposed to be trading. Look at this. Look at this off the open. This is going lower. I'm not going to short it. But this is going lower. I mean, this is very clearly, see how this has moved here? You're going to break here and you're going to try to hold this. And yeah, I think you do hold it. I mean, there's only a point here, but I do think that you're going to try to hold that. And I think it's going to be an issue. I think it's going to be a real issue for you. So we're going to have to see how that plays out and go from there. But that's really what I'm looking at today. Whoops. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there. All right. I got about 4 minutes left and then I have to go. Let's do it here. Hey, Zane. So what's your take on AMC and SPLK? This I like, right? Look how we're turning here, getting above these. Look at this curl. And this is what you're looking for. Again, we're looking for patterns, right? Like you don't curl like this and then it goes away. You could still get stopped out, right? Off this, like if you break the 144, Zane, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Say you're getting above that 151 and you're clearing levels. That's what you want to say. It's exactly what you want to say. You want to open down. That's great. Hopefully it opens down. And then this is like the kind you want to open down and buy, and then it goes, right? That's really what you're looking for here. But look at this. Just get above that level and there's your next trade, right? So if you get above this level in a pattern, then just ride with that pattern. But this could keep going. Absolutely. What's the RSI look like? This is a perfect one to look at RSI on because of the base. Yeah, this is going to go. In my opinion, this is going to go. So, I mean, look, people would be looking at this and going, you have a negative RSI and not understanding that the RSI is setting you up and telling you you're going higher, right? If you don't truly know how to read that. I have an RSI video that I don't really promote too much. I would strongly recommend you look for it on the channel. I may put a link, start linking more videos in the description. But you see this, that's exactly what you want. This looks like it's going to go, Zane. Or yeah, this does. It looks like it's going to go to me. And what was the other one? AMC. AMC was one that we were knocking around yesterday, trading in certain levels. I tried to get into it. Frankly, the day trade I outlined in the community did not work. What did work was the entire plan we laid out the 2 nights before. It worked out. That one worked out perfectly. But I walked through this trade yesterday, and I'm going to speed up here in a minute, but I want to point this out. And I went through this last night's videos, and I'm going to strongly recommend that you start, even if you put me on, and I know I talk fast because I have a lot to say, but if you put me on your video and you watch these daily, you're going to learn a lot. And just put me on 2x speed if you don't have the time. I really don't care about the watch time. I'm just trying to get people to learn. What I wanted to go through, I'm going to get through this, is here's your level when you open the next day, right? So here's your level. You broke above that level. Usually when you break above this level, you have a high degree of probability of going higher. That's why everybody waits for this bar. Okay. When you break below this level, right? So in other words, that didn't work. When I break below this level, okay, usually that means it's over, right? Okay, I'm wrong. Look what happens. Okay, so whenever you see this and then you retest that level, you're going to see massive movement into this. This is a big William O'Neill trade, just FYI. So in other words, you come up, you try to break out, you fail, you test, you shake everybody out, you break out again. That second breakout, so what William O'Neill would do for those that are like disciples ahead, the IBD guy. So when you break out here, you would actually increase the size of your position. So I'll say that again. You'd actually increase the size of your position. So let's say you were trading 1,000 shares here. You might increase it to 1,500. I think he said 10%, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to increase it. So when you do that, you have a big edge. What do you do now with it? Now you have to wait, watch, and see. It's had its move. It's had its move. And look at the levels that we're having issues with. The levels that we've been talking about, that 46 level. Look how we can't stay above it. See how you can't stay above it? So just watch that. It's not something that I would be going crazy about. All right, so I'm going to have to do like a money round here and start going through these. I'm going to have to start doing these fast. Cowboys. Yeah, Jerry Jones. I don't know, man. You guys have some issues. Hopefully Dax is good. So let me just start running through some of these. I'm just going to pick the ones now that I can really run through the fastest. I'm going to just do a lightning round here. So then just start looking through these. because I'm going to have to jump here. So figs, I would not touch. I would not go near this. Look at this reversal. I'm going to get rid of this data, but I would not be looking at this. Maybe you hold here, maybe, but it's not something I would be going through and taking a look at. CELH. So CELH, you had really good news the other day. Someone upgraded them. You know, we'll see. You're in a trading range. You're just basing and in a trading range, right? Here's your gap fill, right? You closed it, but I don't see a big hurry here. I just see a huge range. We tried to break out. We had earnings, didn't work. Here we are. So TSM and MDXG. So as we talked about this, you're breaking out. You're looking for this to go to that 15 3/4 level. TSM, you know, I've talked about this yesterday. Hopefully I talked about it in enough detail that people got what I was putting down. This is just like Micron. You buy it when it looks ugly. Okay. Support, support, support. Where do you buy this? Support. Where do you sell it? Resistance. That's it. That's your trade. These are your levels. When you break out, you might go through it. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you hit selling. So you're trying to flip 113 now. Flipping 113 gets you back into this channel. That's your trade. If it gets back to this level, you buy it. You close below this level, you sell it. That's how you trade it. You know, and it's very hard to get accurate readings. You're welcome, boss. It's very hard to get accurate readings, SF, on that volume-wise, as it being an ADR. POWI. Yeah, PAL looks great. I got 2 minutes here. I'm going to do these fast. This looks great. This was one that we had in the newsletter, and it just never triggered for us. And then it triggered 3-4 days later and went. And I had, you know, I have so many different semiconductors in the group right now that I didn't put this in. But this breaking this level, yeah, this is exactly what you're looking for, because you have an entire channel here that you can get up to like 120, 130 for quickly. I had a 140 target on this when we were looking at it. This can keep going. Just because it's not in the newsletter doesn't mean it's going. Oh, okay. Database of emails, contacts, job titles. Oh, cool. Good to know. Hey, Francis. I like that. What I would be looking for is for that to get above here, 2340. That's what you're looking for at this point. You need that to get above 2340 before you do anything. So let's just see what else I got. I got too many names to go through. I got 1 minute here. Yep, you're welcome. Let's go. Keep going. Thanks. Lawsuit means, yeah, let me take a look at that. ATVI. And next time I'll go a little faster so I can get to everybody's request or get to more of them. 8183, 8179. I mean, I'm not going near this. You know, this is just forming what? An H. We know how these end. This is not something I'm going near. So I didn't cover it. I'll cover it real quick. Oh, SP. Okay. Reports earnings today. Okay. So just get this out there. So just everybody get that out there, that SPLK is reporting earnings today. So you're stepping in front of a train. Let's do RBLX and then I got to roll. So you did what you needed to do, right? Yesterday, you got above that 84.81. That was the key level we marked out. You broke this trend line. You're above this level. It could go. It could keep going. This would be your next resistance. Okay. I have no position in this, but it is acting exceptionally well. And it acted exceptionally well off of these events, right? An under gap, and then that was it. So, I mean, it was pretty clear where to buy that. Right? I mean, that's pretty clear. So I don't know. I'm not chasing it here, but you could get to 94 fairly quickly. So just keep that in mind. All right. I got to go here, everyone. Have a great day.